Please. Hello, 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 YouTube. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Life Chat channel with your host, Annette Cotton Cam. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you very much for tuning in. And as you guys know, I was missing for a little while because I was trying to work on a couple things. I hope y'all can notice. I did work on my camera material, my camera equipment. I did kind of work on some lighting, so I did kind of try to change things up a little bit because believe it or not, even though I was new, I received quite a bit of trolling, which is funny and fun, and nonetheless I had to switch up some things, and so I did. So welcome back. All right, it's good to chat with you all. So let's hop right into today's chat. A lot has been going on. Yes, it has. But we're just going to hop right into the most talked about headline that just recently came out, and that's going to be Kanye West. Mr. Kanye West. Yes, we're going to discuss Mr. Kanye West today. And we're going to start with his 13th Amendment abolishment statement. Now, before everyone beat me up, I know that those that know me personally, they know that I have been a Kanye West fan, and we kind of grew up in the same area, kind of in the same side of the globe, and so anyone who knows me know I've been a Kanye West fan. But I want everyone to understand, including Mr. Kanye West, that I'm the kind of friend that will tell you the truth, like either way, like whether it's like good, bad, or indifferent. So I don't want that to be misconstrued. But going on with this video here, Kanye West came out recently and he made a statement saying that he felt like the 13th Amendment should be abolished. And while that was in a very broad statement, I just wanted to help some people understand like where he was really going with that, in my opinion, based on the fact that I have been a Kanye West fan ever since his Chaining Day and up until now. So I kind of have an idea, of Kanye West and like how he thinks, like as he's presenting himself. And so I'm really able to look past a lot of the act and the characterness of it all, because I just can, and so here's my insight, and here's what I've gathered about it. First, I want to go over the 13th Amendment, because there's a lot of opinions circulating. And while all these opinions are circulating, like I'm very curious to know like how many people even know what the 13th Amendment is and what it means and what he meant when he said that. So I'm just going to read it really quick. Because again, you guys know, we only have a certain amount of time, and that's okay. We're just going to work with it. So the 13th Amendment as of today reads, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude. Again, let me start over. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. So let's just break that down real quickly. First of all, it states neither slavery nor involuntary servitude is accepted in the United States or any place subject to its jurisdiction. That's already written in the Constitution. So that's there already. So there's no reason for any American to be worried about those type of acts in particular to be resurfacing, because that's already been written in the Constitution already as it is. Now, the part that Mr. West was referring to is the part that is designed in a sort of dicey way. And it's the part that reads, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted. So that means if you've been convicted of a crime, you have now subjected yourself to slavery and involuntary servitude as a punishment. That's what that means. And so on one front, it's really simple, like stay away from crime, okay? Number 1, cuz without that, you are protected under the 13th Amendment and you should not be approached in any type of a way. In any type of slavery or involuntary solitude way. That's number 1. However, I can appreciate Kanye wanting to even sit down and discuss that portion of it, because if this is the United States of America, and it is, which we live in, and if it states that that's just inhumane activity, it just shouldn't exist. Like should there be punishment? Sure, there should be a form of punishment, but if it cannot resemble slavery or involuntary servitude to an extent that it does today. I think that's what the Kardashian and West family is trying to sit down with officials and discuss. Because the way that, if this is the United States, if that's inhumane and activity and behavior that shouldn't exist here, then it shouldn't exist here. And that little clause there, is designed in a way where, it's really a loophole. It's a large loophole. And so I'm not mad at anyone for trying to sit down and discuss that. And I don't think anybody should be upset with the Kardashian and West force, because that's really what they are, / family, for addressing that. And I can go a step further with that, because they also are putting in work in regards to prison reform, like as a whole. They really are. And not only are they, but they are responsible for returning a inmate to their family, based on a pardon. They are responsible for someone being released from prison that was set to be imprisoned there for a very, very long time and had been there for a long time. And the thing is, they actually went down and sat down. They took the time to sit down and select a case, take it to some lawyers of their stature, their caliber, in their hierarchy and things, their acquaintances, their connections and things. They sat down with this case and dissected it in a way. And not only that, they didn't just sit and look at it and discuss it. They took it to the courts. They took it to the courts and put it into action, and it resulted in something different. It resulted in a different outcome. It resulted in this senior citizen returning home and not having to rot in a prison for what she did. She was punished, and she had spent some time there. No one's trying to say that criminals should just be left free that haven't been punished. That's not what the Kardashian and West family is suggesting. I'm not thinking that. But I think that there are cases that can be dissected in that way, and can also end in the same way in which it ended with this one family that they helped. And I think also people who want to just say, well, that was just one family. Okay, well, that I'm sure that's one more family than you or anyone else in your environment or surroundings have cause for this to happen for. So let's just fall back with the criticism on that, because I think that they have put enough work in to deserve, at the very least, an applause and some sort of appreciation and gratitude from the public. So that's that part of it. And then not only am am I in support of what the Kardashian and West family are doing in regard to prison reform, but I'm just gonna I appreciate what I saw take place at that press conference luncheon. I appreciate what I saw. Did Kanye present himself in the best way? I'm not going to go ahead and say that, but I'm going to say I don't think it took a scholar or a degree or a credential of any kind for him to go in there and say what he said. And I think he went in there and was able to make some very strong suggestions. One, you know, he addressed the MAGA hat. You know, he first of all, he's able to sit in the Oval Office of the President of the United States. Okay, let's not poo-poo that idea, okay? Because I don't know anyone who has the president on in their Rolodex in which they could use and like get penciled in. You know, like I've heard that's a pretty challenging thing to have done. You know, I'm that's just what I've heard. And so the fact that he's able to even sit there, not only was he able to sit there, but he was able to go there with a Mr. Jim Brown. Mr. Jim Brown is a very, very credible American great that is responsible for doing so much. I'm looking at the time. I'm probably going to have to make this a part 2, but that's okay. I'll make it a part 2. Jim Brown is responsible for quite a bit, you know, from way back in his American great football days all up until now. And so Mr. Jim was sitting right next to Kanye West inside this same Oval Office, inside this same luncheon. And you know what he said about his interaction with the whole entire ordeal? 3 words. He said, I was impressed. Okay? Mr. Jim Brown was impressed with what he saw and what he interacted with and what he sat next to and witnessed. That was what he said. And I don't hear a whole lot of people criticizing Mr. Jim Brown. And I'm not suggesting that people do. And the people who have, still, I'm hearing more of it in Kanye's regard. And I'm just still saying, it's all unnecessary. And so, maybe I should take my glasses off. I can see a glitch. So then, not only that, but there were others in the room. Also, I didn't hear any criticism towards those others either. And then, you know, reverting back to my point though, Mr. Jim Brown was impressed with what he saw. The President of the United States said he was impressed with what he saw and what he heard. And moving forward, Kanye brought up some very strong points, reverting back to that point and back to what I was saying. First, he addressed the MAGA hat in a way that I feel was enough. Like, and see, let me back up a little bit before I start addressing the point. See, people need to understand that Kanye West and President Donald Trump in some sort of way speak the same language. Those guys speak the same language, and I'll tell you what I'm meaning when I say that. President Donald Trump is considered to be a minority amongst his peers. Like, if we all just really sat back and think about it, like, his peers are not patting him on the back with hardly anything that he says or does. So he knows very well what it's like to be an underdog who's still trying to overcome those odds. He knows very well what that's like. And so does Mr. Kanye West. So that's a very, very, very strong similarity for them to have, and they have it. And I think that that's where they connect the most, because they have such a passion and a boldness to push past that. And Donald Trump has done that several times. Kanye West has done that a number of times, and I think that they want to continue to do that. And so I think they both have an interest in doing that. That's just like my take from afar. I think the president is very fond of Kanye West, and I don't care how the media tries to